Yeah, we can't just call it quits after everything we've been through together. Besides, she pretty much saved my life back there. If I just ditched her now, I'd never forgive myself.
We can't overlook that you have saved our lives multiple times now. To talk of returning the favor would be a little crass for my liking. But suffice to say that we are friends, and friends look out for one another.
Riri's true objective remains unclear. Even if we were to sacrifice Miss Kutar, there's no guarantee he would stop.
But...
Kutar, I know why you left the Frost Moon Scions so long ago. It was because people started treating prayer as a form of trade. They would make self-centered wishes, force you to accept meaningless offerings in return, and then expect you to perform miracles for them, as if that were their entitlement. If it were me, I might have walked away too. But I believe that time can change everything, and that sometimes it takes losing something precious to appreciate its true worth. After much reflection, I've realized that this was never about whether the Frost Moon Scions need you. Any relationship based on need is purely transactional. What I truly hope is that you'll choose to stay, not out of obligation, but as part of our family. You were born here, and now you've returned. Who knows? Perhaps it was the moonlight that guided you home.
Thank you, Lauma. But my power is on the wane. I'm afraid I will be of little use to you now. Very well then. I'll do as you say.
Both times you saved us, we were transported across great distances in an instant. Is that one of your powers as the Moon Goddess?
It is, but I find it very draining. I barely managed to pull it off just now, and it will be some time before I'm strong enough to do so again. Rejected by the world, my power is dwindling. Like a lake cut off from its source, slowly shrinking away. Now, it has almost run dry.
What do you mean, rejected by the world?
The three moons belonged to the ancient bygone era in which they came into being. From the moment I was born, the world itself has been steadily sapping away at my strength. The three moons are not one and the same. As the goddess of the Frost Moon, I cannot wield the powers of the other two. Yet moonlight has a way of blending together. Each can reflect the other's glow. So when our fingers touched, I was able to restore my strength by drawing Kuvaki from the eternal moon's marrow. But this method of recovery is painfully slow. If only we could find the...
It's the Wild Hunt! Even faster than we expected. We'll have to finish this conversation later.
See how those Wild Hunt creatures are running away from us. They're likely just a scouting party, which means Rerir won't be far behind.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's get the heck out of here!
Defensive mode in.
Look! Your ankle!
Be silent.
Oh, they just keep coming! This is driving me nuts!
Rerir's closing in on us. We need to pick up the pace.
There's too many of them! And this time, we can't fall back on Kutar's help to escape! If this goes on much longer...
Observe. To dust.
Ratchet Cat!
By the Frost Moon gold.
Annihilate initiated. Preparing for Dusta.
Boris, protect us. Ready, cover.
Close your eyes. Feel the dark. Feel the dark. Feel the dark.
You want this? Look, the rainbow!
Annihilation mode. Defensive mode.
Prepare last line. With one heart.
What's the matter? Bit off more than you could chew?
Hold up! Who are you? Uncle Varka! You're back from Amsvartnir? Whoa! You're Varka? Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius?
We could save the intros for later. Right now, let's get you all out of this hellhole. Follow me. I know somewhere you'll be safe.
Oh, is that where I think it is?
That's the one. Come on, move!
Wow! Where are we? This is so...
Well, that goes without saying. This is the Knights of Favonius' meeting place in Nodcry, and a contact hub for the Northern Intelligence Network. AKA, the black market of intel. No matter what faction you're with, it's the place to buy and sell information. Their headquarters are in Nodcry, but they've got contacts in every nation. As an expeditionary force on foreign soil, working with them has offered us the most effective way of getting our hands on reliable local intel. This is where we meet, so naturally, it's secure. Anyway, where were we? Folks from Nodcry should be pretty familiar with me by now. But I believe this is the first time we've met. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Varka, Knight of Boreas, and Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius.
We've heard all about you. This meeting's been a long time coming. You look way younger than Paimon expected. But you definitely have that Grand Master vibe.
Well, I'm no spring chicken. Just not showing my age yet. Definitely feeling some of that back pain today, though. Rushed back from Amsvartnir without a wink of sleep, only to get right into another fight with that freshly revived maniac.
Another? You mean you fought him before?
Yep. He wasn't nearly as strong back then, but he was still a formidable foe. I brought some of the knights along to give him a little surprise, but he saw us coming from a mile off. My squad took heavy injuries, and I barely made it out alive myself. We knew it might have been our last chance, so we staked everything on it. But still, it wasn't enough to stop him. I tried tracking him down afterwards, but he didn't leave a trace. Even in his unhinged mental state, he's as cautious as any trained operative. So, I decided to come find you. And as luck would have it, turned up to find you being ambushed by the Wild Hunt. The rest, you already know.
Is that why he's been frantically absorbing Guvaki these past few days? Because he sees you as a threat?
Maybe I'm part of the equation, but even if I weren't, I'm sure he'd still be gathering power. He's clearly working up towards something.
Note to self. Uncle Varka's strength rating officially upgraded.
Guess it's my turn to ask questions now. So, what exactly has been happening in Nodcry? Why is the Wild Hunt returned in humanoid form? And why is it after you?
That's a long story, but I'll try to make it quick.
Wow, I had no idea so much had happened. Sounds like you guys have really been through it. So, the Kutar is actually a Fatui Harbinger. And all this wild hunt activity in Nodcry is the work of the Raker of Solnari, one of the 5 sinners. That's a lot to take in. Need some time to wrap my head around it all.
I'm truly sorry, Mr. Varka. You stood with us against the Wild Hunt, and did everything you could to stop it from escalating into a full-blown catastrophe. And then, the one time you're away, it all comes to a head and all your hard work gets undone.
You've got nothing to apologize for, Miss Moonchanter. You can plan 100 steps ahead and still slip up. That's just life. No one knows what tomorrow holds. You can't predict which way the wind will blow next. And, to be perfectly honest, I can't say I'm surprised. For all the times we've defeated the Wild Hunt in the past, we've never been able to completely wipe it out. Turns out, we were just delaying the inevitable. But now that a new variable has come into play, fate may well take a different course.
A new variable? You mean us?
Who else? And in a strange way, I think his resurgence might not be an entirely bad thing. The Wild Hunt is like an unrelenting force of nature, but Rerir is an individual with an agenda. He's gotta have a weak spot somewhere. That said, while Aino was explaining everything just now, some of the points that Mr. Flint's added caught my attention.
You mean about our mystery ally?
That's right. From what you've said, not only did they lead you straight to some key files, they also shielded Hisi Island from a lethal Kuvaki blast. I don't know who or what could pull something like that off. Heck, even Miss Columbina doesn't have a clue.
I hadn't heard the story about those files. Would you mind repeating their titles for me?
Wild Hunt Phenomena Log, a Nodcryan Ratnik's Field Journal, and Kuvaki Survey Log.
Oh. No, still doesn't ring a bell.
Another dead end. Guess all we can do now is hope that our mystery ally keeps showing up when we most need them. Still, it's safest to assume they won't be intervening again. From here on out, we'll have to resolve this crisis by ourselves. Your intel also explains something else I've been wondering about. The reason I led my team to Amsfarnir was because we'd had reports about a possible source of the Wild Hunt showing up there. But once we looked into it, it turned out to be a red herring. I don't know who was behind it, but clearly, it served its purpose. I doubt it's by chance that he happened to make his comeback while my attention was diverted. And from everything you told me, it sounds like his scheming began well before his return. So maybe luring me away was all a part of his plan. But is it even possible that he orchestrated all of this by himself? The Moon Maiden and the Raker of Solnari, Nodcry of all places. The way everything is unfolding, it can't be a coincidence.
So, what do we do now? Got any ideas?
Right now, we've got at least 3 things to consider. Let's go through them one by one. First, we need to figure out how to take down Rerir. If we can't beat him in a straight-up fight, the rest won't even matter. To my knowledge, the bulk of Nodcry's fighting force is already gathered here. But even with everyone united, we're still no match for Rerir in his current state, let alone with his power still growing.
What if there was a way to tap into a new power of our own?
How so?
Have you thought of something, Columbina?
3 moons once watched over this world. The Eternal Moon was the largest. The Frost Moon was the brightest. And the Iridescent Moon was the most mysterious. They say that back then, the 3 moon goddesses wielded immense power, enough to shape the workings of the world itself. I now bear the Frost Moon's power, and the Eternal Moon's marrow resides within the Traveler.
Hold on. Are you suggesting...
The Iridescent Moon, the last piece in the puzzle.
That's right. If we can find the Iridescent Moon's marrow, I will be able to regain my strength much more quickly.
The 3 moons are said to stir the tides and illuminate all things. Perhaps they hold further secrets beyond our understanding.
According to my analysis, this solution is feasible. However, it is subject to one major condition. How do we locate the iridescent moons, Meow?
I know a way, but we will need to visit the Fatui's Experimental Design Bureau.
The Experimental Design Bureau? Are you saying we need to involve Marionette?
Yes. I must speak with Sandrone.
It's a long way from here to the Experimental Design Bureau. There's a high chance you'll be spotted. You shouldn't go alone.
Then that's settled. Next up, our second priority. Somehow, we need to figure out Rarier's end goal. As you saw for yourselves, when he was still in his wild hunt form, everything he did was for the sake of recovering his body and resurrecting himself. His first act since then, after laying low for a while, was to try and assassinate this young lady. People's obsessions often reveal their greatest vulnerabilities. There must be a reason why he despises the moon so deeply. Perhaps it sheds some light on his title, the Raker of Solnari. The Wild Hunt has plagued Nodcry for centuries now. If we want to stop it for good, we have to get to the root cause of what's driving it.
It's true. We still know very little about him. If Kuthar hadn't given us that lead, we wouldn't even know his name.
But where would we even start? I doubt even the Intel Queen of Nodcry has a clue, and she has info coming out of her ears.
Oh? That's a rather hasty conclusion for someone who's so painstakingly meticulous when it comes to dealing with machines.
Ah! She hurt me!
Boss! What are you doing here?
I'm now asking myself the same question. I received a letter from a humble knight of Favonius, requesting a meeting to discuss a major business deal. But it looks like this humble knight had something else in mind.
Details, details. Miss Neffer, the important thing is that you've arrived at the perfect time. Since his failed ambush, I've been racking my brains trying to come up with a plan to fight Rarier. Given the severity of the situation, I think it's fair to say that our only chance lies in uniting as one. And I'm talking all the factions in Nodcry. We can't do this without the Curatorium, but I knew it'd be a tough job to win you over. So, I took the liberty of reaching out for a little chat.
Wait a sec. How did you even hear about this place, Neffer? Didn't you say this is meant to be the Knights of Favonius' meeting spot? And a contact hub for the Northern Intelligence Network? And isn't it supposed to be super hidden?
You really think he could have gotten settled in Nodcry without my help? Besides, I'm the one running this gig. Of course I know where the meeting place is.
Allow me to introduce the current head of the Northern Intelligence Network. If it's intel you're after, she's your woman. Pretty much seen and heard it all.
Please spare me the flattery. Let's cut to the chase. Seems like you've run into some trouble, huh? Well, this certainly qualifies as an unforeseen crisis. On behalf of the Curatorium of Secrets, I wish you all the best of luck.
So you're just going to sit this one out?
Why should I get involved? What could possibly be in it for me?
What if we told you we can't do this without you?
Oh? Then I'd say, you'd better make it worth my while. I don't work for free.
I can't put a price on something like this. It's just not in my nature. But then again, you and I have always been polar opposites in this regard. So I can't exactly say I didn't see this coming. If you insist on compensation, I will pay you. Consider this a formal commission. Sound fair?
You just don't give up, do you? Too bad. I know you well enough to know you can't afford my prices. The riskier the job, the more it'll cost. And a Moonchanter's stipend isn't exactly generous. Unless you're planning to start passing the donation box around among the faithful.
Boss, just a thought. If they come up short, maybe you can take the difference out of my next few paychecks. Things got really dangerous during the fight with Rerir. If this girl hadn't saved me, I'd be ley line fodder by now. I'd be gone for good, boss. If there's any way we can make this work, I'd really like to help her. Please? I'm begging you.
This is why I'm always telling you never accept favors. They are the hardest debts to repay. You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all kinds of misfortune. Very well, Yehoda, I will help. But just this once. Don't count on this happening again. Flynn's, that fragment that Rerir was after, do you still have it on you?
Of course.
Let me borrow it. I need it to follow up on some leads.
Wait, you actually have some leads?
Shh. This is top secret information.
I get it. We all have things we'd rather keep to ourselves. Plus, I know we can count on you. So we'll leave the intel gathering in your hands. And that brings me to the third and final item. We need to find a way to destroy